So tonight we're going to talk about finding dimes because I find it super strange because it's been happening to me for the past 4 years, 5 years maybe. And I never even knew it really was a thing until very much more recently, like maybe within 6 months or so. So it's also going to tie back to Not a Poor Decision and to my mission and how I read them anyways. And if anyone has any opinion, I would love to hear other people's opinions on this, or if it's happened to them or whatever. But let's kind of start, at the beginning. So in my last divorce, yeah, I know. That was when I was probably the biggest mess type of thing. And it's when I really went and worked on myself. Like I studied patterns, I studied behavior, I studied psychology, blah, blah, blah. And I'd randomly find dimes. Okay, and I never thought anything of it until I mentioned something to my sister maybe like a year ago or something like that. And she says, "Do you know that's a thing?" And I said, "Really?" So I looked it up on Google, and I'm going to put the description on the screen here. But basically, it's saying to either trust your instinct or someone from above, whatever, from someone that's passed away is trying to talk to you or something along those lines, okay? I guess it's a lot of interpretation, but to me it's just so odd. So, about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, whatever, when I started having issues with my current breakup, the dimes really picked up. And it was about the time that I started Not a Poor Decision. So, I lived next to my grandparents for 26 years, and I've done a lot of work and research, and I'm pretty sure the person that's leaving me these dimes is my grandfather, okay? So there's a whole bunch more than I'm going to talk about tonight, but I'll give you the big ones that are super weird, okay? Now, it all started with my grandfather giving me a duck, yes, a stuffed duck. So he was a hunter, he was from Italy, blah, blah, blah. So I have a stuffed duck here, and I'm not an animal killer. I do not condone hurting animals. But he gave it to me when I was 1 year old, a lot of years ago. And it always meant something to me, so I wanted to put it in the bar. And I remember doing the first video. This is like months ago. I did a video with the duck in it, and I felt like almost like my grandfather was mad at me. Okay, because my grandfather was very serious, totally unlike me. He was very serious, and I thought he looked at it as like I was insulting marriage or making fun of marriage. With my whole comedy act type of thing. But it was really to make people laugh. And that's really my goal. Laugh, spread self-worth. Everybody needs to know they're a little bit better. And laugh and be kind. We can make this a better world. So, I always thought it was him, and I won't get the reasons, whatever. Okay, so I think it was him leaving me these dimes. So, let's get to the weird ones. So, a lot of guilt. So when I got there, I got out of my car and I was bawling my face off, and I walk up to his stone, like where he is in the wall. What do I see on the floor? A dime. Weird. And I'm not making it. I'm bawling my face off, like. So I'm sitting there. I'm sorry, yeah, blah blah. Then all of a sudden, who shows up? Maybe 2-3 minutes later, my uncle, my dad's brother. I'll be honest, I thought he would also give me shit. And I was kind of, in a sense, almost dreading seeing him. But he came out to me, I was bawling my eyes out with this dime in my hand. And he's like, "Ben," I gotta tell you, he's like, "You've had some shitty hands, but you just make the best of it. You get up and laugh, and you make me," he said, "beep, F, you make me F and laugh every day." So to me, that meant, like, not to get all the details, but that meant that my grandfather was seeing what I was doing. So that was like the first time that I think I got like affirmation or confirmation, like that this is a good thing. So it changed my perspective there, okay? Then a couple weeks later, I was sitting in this bar, okay, completely cleaning it out. My ex, I guess, was off and on, right? So she was, I don't know, who knows. And I was cleaning the whole bar. I pull out a pile of things here and I find a dime. Weird. because I found no other coin. I don't even pay with cash. I only pay with cash if I have to pay someone like for a job, for example. I hate change. So anyways, weird. So I basically take the dime and I put it in this thing. Okay, so it's like a deep thing where you put pens and stuff. I guess there's wine openers, pens, right? So I put it at the bottom. So a couple days later, I come into the bar. Everything was in there. What do I find behind the bar on the floor? The dime. The dime that was in there. So I've now cemented that into the renovation I have going. But how weird. Finding the dime in the... Anyways, that was weird. Okay, so next one, weeks later at this point now. No, maybe a couple of months, but this is when I was really giving up on my ex. Okay, I just couldn't take anymore. She just, whatever. Wasn't around, so I was dead set on going out to a bar and getting some attention. Okay, I wasn't planning on doing it. I still felt loyal. I'm getting in the shower at my house here, and I'm telling Google to, increase the volume or change a song. And it wouldn't listen. So I went into my daughter's room, which is the Google I was using because it's across in the shower. And I literally spoke right to it and I said, increase volume or change the song, right? Wouldn't listen. So I picked it up to pull the plug to reset it. What do I find under it? A dime. And that was probably the weirdest one one of the weirdest ones because it also had the year that we met, me and my ex met, and I thought it was a sign to hold on. I really did. But it turned out to not be that, obviously. But it was super odd, but I also did go to that bar that night, and I ended up seeing some people that I knew, and the bartender I knew, and we just chatted the whole night, which kept me out of trouble. But they were also saying how slow it was. They're like, we've never seen the bar so slow. So I was like thinking, wow, am I supposed to go back to my ex kind of thing? That's how I was reading it. Weeks later at this point, it's like a month or so ago or whatever, maybe a month and a half. My ex said she's coming to get her stuff. She never showed up. I went out to a friend's. I lost my phone. Okay, but I knew my phone was in my car. Because I could still call from my car. I just couldn't find my phone. So I was there for a couple hours. I came home, figured out that my ex didn't pick up her stuff. And then I started cleaning my entire car because I had no other choice. I could not find my phone. Literally couldn't find it. I ripped the whole car apart. Everything. Cleaned everything out, everything. I was losing my mind. So I called my buddy, Matt. I'm like, Matt, I was like, I gotta come over. You're a car guy. Like, you have to help me with these compartments. My phone's somewhere. So I drive over, and Matt comes out, and he's 6'2", I'm about 6. And I didn't look, right? Because I was so focused on inside. He's like, Ben, you dumbass, he says. Your phone's on the sunroof. So, so I had like about a 20-minute drive to a little city called Bell River out here. Anyways, that's where my friend's place is. So I was hanging out there. Anyway, so for about 20-minute drive or so, plus for the hour and a half, 2 hours I was there, the phone was in the sun the whole time. So luckily it still worked, etc., etc. But remember that, I cleaned the car. So then 2 days later, my ex says, oh, I'm coming to get my stuff now. Okay, whatever. I leave again. And remember, I don't pay in cash. Unless it's cash, like 20s, whatever, right? And I get back, because I, left, I didn't want to see her. I get back, and clearly upset. And I get out of the car seat, I get it like sitting out, whatever, and what do I find? A dime. So, I don't know, it's like, I don't know what to make of it, so if someone can understand this, like, I guess, I don't even know what I'm asking. It was odd, like, it's like they were telling me that it was now okay, maybe, I guess? Like, that's how I read it. It's like, keep going, right? How I always felt it was my grandfather says, not a poor decision, like this, like, you were given things, like, you need to help. So that's kind of how I read it, and I think it was okay that I made the right decision. I think that's kind of how I read it at that point. But it is very odd. So fast forward now, months later, this girl, you know, a friend of mine, whatever, was supposed to come over. She couldn't show up one night. And then I find a dime with that as well. When she couldn't show, I just was cleaning the counter and a dime fell off. And there are many others, so I don't get it. So I don't get if it's a good thing, a bad thing. They say to trust your instinct. But that's kind of what I've done in the past. No. But honestly, in all breakup, you start looking at things in different lenses. So if you pay attention, I mean, I know I've basically kept replaying this same pattern, but I've now figured out something. But we'll get to that another point. But it's really, I think that, I don't know, I just don't get it. So if you believe or not, or you have some concept on dimes, I don't get it because I still see them. Like I said, I just saw one, I just found another one the other day with, you know, whatever, it's someone I like, but different, but not different, if that makes sense. But so if you like what we're talking about, I got a lot of strange stuff coming, you know, all relationship stuff. I got a really cool things in October coming. So follow, subscribe, and trust the man that's been married way too many times. And he is looking for your help. If you know anything about the dimes, the dime phenomenon, let me know. I would love to know because it's super odd. Thank you.